Hey folks, this is Vincent Ollie with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're gonna play Overboss, a boss monster adventure. This game supports 1 to 5 players, it's for ages 8 and up, and the average play time is 20 to 30 minutes. So this is in the same vein as the boss monster games that I've recently covered on my channel, same developer and all that jazz. Although Boss Monster was more of a build your own dungeon kind of thing, and you were trying to attract heroes into the dungeon and kill them in order to gain points. This game is more of a draft tiles and lay tiles kind of game, and whoever is the most efficient at doing that will score the most points and win the game. So slightly different theme, but overall same universe. So here's a quick look at the box insert here. There's just space for the tiles that we are currently using in this particular game. I will zoom out a little bit so you can see more of it. So we've got stacks of tiles that have been drafted from this box here. We've also got these little miniature tokens here that are in this draw bag. There is a deck of bosses that are used in the advanced variant of the game. There's also these command cards that we are not using. This is more for, this allows you to affect both your board and your opponent's board, so it's a bit more take that. So we're not going to use that advanced variant because I'm not a fan of take that kind of games. There are terrain selection cards that you will shuffle up in the beginning of the game. Some are basic, some are advanced. And then you're going to get 5 of them here, and the 5 that you draft will affect the tiles that you shuffled into the game. Okay, so you're going to have slightly different experiences depending on what terrain types you actually draft. There's also a little score pad over here, like so. The game, there's so many different ways to score in this game, it's ridiculous. I can't imagine that I'll be very good on my first playthrough. Some other things that I didn't show you that were part of the box. There is a instruction booklet here that's about 8 pages, but the size is fairly large here. There's also a quick start guide. It's just 1 page. I love these. I love it in games. This is how to set up the game. This is how you play the game. This is how everything scores. Everything's nice and laid out here. If you don't want to hunt through the rule book, there is one rule that is not listed here, and we'll go over that later, that I think is important. The game also comes with these tray inserts, which are kind of cool. They look something like this. I don't know how to use them. In fact, I mean, the bag and maybe the boss cards will go here, but I have not found a use for the other slots yet. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do with them. And then these are the other player boards that we're not currently using. They are double-sided, by the way. So if you want to play the standard game, you play on this side. If you want to play a long game, you'll notice that it's a 4x4 instead of a 3x4. So you can extend the game's length by using the opposite side.
It seems like there's no dungeon on the opposite side.
Yeah, well, it's what the way that works is any of these tokens that you put into your layer, as it's called, are just simply placed off side of the board. So in the shorter game or the normal game, you've got space to put these tokens as you acquire them, but in the opposite side, you just simply put them off your board. There's also rules for solo mode. So if you're interested in a solo mode way to play, you can totally take a look at this as well. This is a separate piece of paper. All right, let's zoom back in and I'll kind of briefly go over. Now, it's important to stress we have not played this game before. We just got this game in the mail courtesy of the developer. So, you know, we may get a little wrong or two, but as I always say, we're here to spread awareness and all that good stuff. So what you're going to do is, like I said, you're going to draft 5 of these terrain type tiles. We got forest here, swamp, cave, camp, and cloud island. And as you can imagine, they each score a little differently. So we're going to be seeing, here's the cloud islands, for example, and how they score, and the forests and how they score. Each terrain type scores a little bit differently. You're also going to, once you get these, you're going to shuffle in the appropriate tiles of that terrain type, shuffle them up. You're also going to shuffle in dungeon tiles, which actually look like this. Dungeon tiles are used in every single game that you play, and they have special restrictions that we'll explain in a little bit. You're also going to find the matching tokens of these terrain types and put them into this bag, along with mini-boss tokens, which just simply provide points, as well as portals, which allow you to swap tiles around the board. And we'll get to that when we get to it.
Is it tiles or just the tokens?
I'm sorry, just the little ones. The portals let you move these things around the board.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, these smaller ones will go on these larger ones, and it's one per out. And how you pair them up and how you lay them out will affect your end game scoring. Here's a quick look at mini bosses, crystals. Crystals are a special type of terrain token that is part of each set. So these are the cloud tokens, for example. There's a bunch of these, but there's also one that says like 1 point for every terrain type that you have of that type in your grid. So I know that I'm kind of throwing a lot at you here, but here's a quick look at these special mini tokens and what they all do. Portals are not worth any points. Once per turn, you may flip over a portal to reposition up to 2 monsters or mini bosses on your map, and so on. So anyway, we're also, in the advanced variant of the game, we are dealt 2 bosses. We're going to choose one of them and throw the other one away. Now, these bosses are kept face down for the time being. You flip it once for its top ability, which can only be used once per game. And then the bottom one is how they score at the end of the game. So I'm just going to take a quick look here and see which one appeals to me. This over here looks interesting. Oh man, this is tough. Yeah, I think I will try this one out. Again, I'm not going to explain scoring too much right now just because there's a lot of it. But I'm going to discard Cerebellus here. I'll just show you what that one looks like. And I'm going to put that with that. I'm going to put this one face down until I'm ready to activate this ability here. And while she's looking at her 2 to choose from. So this is how scoring works. Like I said, I don't want to get into this too much. But each terrain type will score a different way. And that's what this top part is. And then down here, again, mini bosses are just flat points. They'll provide you points depending on what's listed on them. I think they're like 2 points apiece. We've also got points for crystals. Like I said, some of these, actually all of these mini token sets, forests and the air biome and all that, they have, each of them has like a score 1 point for each type of that biome in your grid. That's what this is. Matching monsters take a little bit of explaining. That's where if you manage to get this is an air one. If I can get this air one on top of an air tile, then I get 1 point for it. Here's a good example. If I can get this forest mini token onto that forest there, then I score 1 point. So for every matching token set that you have here, you're going to score 1 point on your grid. Bands, that's when you've got the same type of mini monster in the same row or column. So if I had forest, if I had whatever tile here and whatever tile here, this is a band of 2 because they're the same monster type. They're both forests. Mm-hmm. So I would actually score points. I would look at each row and each column, and depending on how many I had in a row or how many I had in that column, I would score a certain amount of points, and that's all in the rulebook to show you. And then you're going to add up token score, boss score, and so on. Again, if you're using the bosses, that's what this is here. All right, so I think it's good. You picked your boss?
Yes.
All right, which one are you getting rid of?
This one.
Okay. Just so I know, it is Zeralax, however you pronounce that. Okay. Okay, so I think we're ready to give this a try. Again, keep in mind this is our first time playing. Yep. Would you like to go first?
Sure.
Okay, now the game is played over 12 rounds. Mm-hmm. When the board is completely filled up, we end the game, and then we add up our points.
Yeah.
On your turn, you're going to choose one pairing. Mm-hmm. So you're going to choose this pairing, this pairing, this pairing, or this pairing. Whenever you take a mini token, well, you have to.
Yeah.
If it's a monster, you have to put it on an empty tile in your grid, except for dungeons. Dungeons you cannot put monsters onto. Mm-hmm. When that happens, if you have no empty space on anywhere for this monster to go. It goes in your lair for later, possibly.
Yeah.
Some bosses actually reward you for having a bunch of tokens here in your lair. I don't know what you've got. Okay. But so, any questions before you start? When you place a tile, by the way, you can put them anywhere.
The camp. How does the camp score?
Okay, so on the upper right-hand corner of the camp is a little flag.
Yeah.
For every different flag that you have in your array, you score so many points.
Different flag?
Yeah, so again, this is a yellow flag. This is an orange flag.
Oh, I see.
If you had 2 orange flags in your tableau, that would not count as 2 separate camps.
I see.
You need to make sure that the colors of the flags are different.
I wonder how many, do they tell how many camps?
Well, it says 4+ on here. So you're going to score, looks like 1 point for 1, 4 points for 2, 9 points for 3, and 16 points for 4+ for the camps. While we're at it, the Cloud Islands each have a base value of 7 points by themselves, but each Cloud Island loses 1 point for every non-Cloud Island tile type on that map, including dungeons. So if you had nothing but clouds, you'd be scoring a crap ton of points, 7 points each. Yeah. But for every forest or camp that you add to that, and you've got Cloud Islands, they're actually worth less. Okay. Caves, they have a base value of 1 point. But anytime you place it next to a rock face, like so, you are going to score an extra 2 points, I believe it is. Actually, yeah, for a maximum value of, caves, there we go. A map is worth an additional 2 points for a maximum value of 3 points. Okay. So 1 point by themselves, not next to a rock, and then an extra 2 points if they're next to one of these rock faces. You've also got swamps. Swamps each have a base value of 1 point, similar to caves. Each swamp is also worth an additional 1 point if it borders a water part of the board, and an additional 1 point if it is next to at least one other swamp tile for a maximum of 3 points. Okay. So by itself, it's 1. If it's next to water, it's 2. If there's another swamp nearby, it's worth 3, or at least an additional point. Okay. So if you had your swamp in the middle here, it's not next to water, but you could still score an extra point for it if you place another swamp orthogonally adjacent to it. Okay. Last is forests. Are scored based on the total number of forest tiles on your map. 1 is 1, 2 is 3 points, 3 is 6 points, and so on. So the more forests you have, the more points you score. Yeah. Dungeons, which are not, they're always included in every game, they have a base value of 1 point. But for every different type of terrain that borders it, they gain an additional point, including dungeons. Yeah. So if this dungeon was here, and I had a forest here, and a swamp here, and a camp here, and a dungeon here, that's 4 different ones. And that would be worth 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 is 5 points. 5 points. And again, dungeons do count as a different thing. Okay? Crazy. All right.
I will choose this one here.
Okay.
And I'll just put it right here.
Doing your camp. Okay, and then a new one comes out immediately. All right. Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a cave and a cave monster. Yeah. So I think I'm just going to take that one. No reason not to take both. They match each other. I guess I'll just throw that up here. Okay. And then a new one comes out. Okay. Forest, and that is a mini boss, and that's what these mini bosses look like. They just have a point value of 2. They don't contribute to bands. Yeah. Meaning, if you had 2 forests monsters next to each other, that does not count in any part. It's just 2 points, flat 2 points. Okay.
I'm going to pick the dungeon.
Dungeon?
Now, this cannot go on top. It has to go there.
It has to go there. Because there are no empty spots on your board for this. Yep. So it'll stay there until you somehow manage to get it out, assuming you can at all. Okay. It's possible they'll just kind of stay there until the end of the game. Who knows? Yeah. There's a swamp. That is a 1 point for every camp that you have. Whoa. Which is good for you. At the moment. And again, when you place tiles, they do not have to be adjacent to each other. So on your next pick, you could place over here.
I see.
You do not have, it's not like Sagrada where you have to build off your existing placement.
I see.
Okay, so that's a camp. That's a mini boss. It's just 2 points. That's kind of nice. I'm not exactly sure what I want to go for at this point. You're going after camps. I'm a little concerned. If I let you have this, that's going to buff that. If I let you have this, that's a different flag type. But I don't have... I don't know. It's just weird. Let's go with... I kind of just want the flat points right now. I want to take 2 points and this forest, and I'll put the forest, I think... This is a mini boss. So if I put that here... Like so, I suppose. Although, if I can get a cave here, a monster... Okay. Yeah, this is tough. I'm not exactly sure how to position these yet. Maybe I'll do something like that.
Okay.
Just put it down there in the corner. Alright, and so a new one comes out. It is another cave, and it is a swamp monster.
A swamp monster. I will take that.
Okay.
I'll put it here.
Alright, it's next to rock, which is good. New one comes out.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
I don't know either, to be honest with you.
A swamp.
Ooh, okay. That is a swamp, and this is a 1 point for every cave you have. I kind of like that. So I'm going to take the swamp and that one and put that maybe... Oh gosh, maybe down here. Maybe I can build off of it down this way, possibly. Okay, and a new one comes out. It's another camp with an orange flag, which you already have.
Yeah.
So that's kind of useless to you, but...
I am going to take... Okay.
Now don't forget, you have a boss ability that you can flip at any time.
I do. I will take this one. Or do I take... No. No, I don't. No, I'll take
You're not
this
sure,
one.
are you?
Not sure at all.
Okay.
Take that.
Alright. So there's a cloud one with a forest monster. Let's go with a camp. And I kind of want to put that, I guess, over here, but I don't want to block in my forests if I can help it. So maybe I'll put that here.
The forests have to be in groupings?
No, they don't.
Okay.
I could in theory do this. I'm thinking, I mean, this mini boss is going to break columns and not break it, but it's going to limit what kind of bands I can create in this row and column. So I guess I'll do that for right now. And it's another camp. A lot of camps coming up. It's a blue one with a cave monster.
I'm going to take that one.
Ooh, okay. That's a good one.
And I'll put it...
Wow. Freaking caves galore. Oh, there's a portal token. Portals, whenever you flip them, allow you to switch 2 tokens.
Okay.
I actually might take that one because things. What's on the opposite side of that? Ooh, okay. Let's go with... Okay. So... What is that? Based on the number? Okay. Interesting. Let's go with this, because it's a different flag than what I've got. So maybe I put this up here. They don't have to be adjacent to each other, but... so the portal goes into your layer, and that can be used later to swap things around.
Yeah.
To try and get some matching things going on. So we'll see how that will just drop from this stack. Oh, geez, another freaking... These camps are all over the place. There's another mini boss worth 2 points.
I'm going to take it.
Okay.
And I'll just put it right here.
Alright, I'll take it from the middle. There. I mean, come on. Give me something other than a freaking... Okay, so there's that. I might take that cave and place that here. And in doing so, I'm going to... I like to swap 2 things around with my portal. Maybe put this... So I might do this. I'm going to take that and do this with it. So now I've matched the swamp monster with the swamp. And that's going to get me 1 extra point. And I've used this now, so it's it's useless.
Yeah. Okay.
New one comes out.
Oh, yeah, that's
Take
right.
from the middle. Okay, there's a dungeon. And there is an air monster.
I'm going to... Oh, fudge nuggets.
You're going to be scoring a lot for camps. I'm just saying.
I don't know about that. Alright, I'm going to... What's this, just a camp monster?
Yeah, that's just a camp monster. Yeah.
I think that's a dungeon you said?
This is a dungeon. Yep.
So I'd have to put that thing here.
That would, yes, this monster would go here. Yeah. Unless you've got an empty space, which you don't.
How do you even get empty space?
There is a tile type in the game that we did not draft called a volcano. Volcanoes will, when you put them down, they actually remove the tokens that are there existing.
I see. Alright, I'm just going to take the forest and put it here.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, another cave monster. Part of me thinks that I should take that because... Okay, yeah, I will. Reason being, I can create a band going this way. But they're not adjacent. I have to wait for another monster. So I can put this here. It's a swamp. And these two feed off of each other, which is nice. So new one. Oh, there's a blue flag there.
One that I already have, though. Darn it. Okay.
What sucks is that this one to me now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different types. So this is only worth 3 points to me right now.
Yeah.
And you, same kind of deal. Although maybe slightly more.
Yeah, it'll be only worth 2 points.
Well, no. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
points.
You do have a lot of different tile types. I didn't even see that.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright. I'm just gonna take the chance. I'm gonna do this.
Go in a dungeon. Okay. Well, you're gonna score a lot for that middle dungeon there. Cool. Cave and give me some good, please. Oh, nice. Now here's the thing. I want to put this here for the band, to create a band in this column. And bands are 7, this would be 7 points here. Or do I put this down here, which is next to rock? That sucks. Okay, so what I'm actually... darn. One of your tiles... Wow, okay. That is a thought. I've got an ability that lets me do something cool, but that would actually hurt me in doing... Oh, this is tough.
You'd have to reveal it.
I'd have to reveal it, so I don't want to do that yet. But I have the ability to move this. If I do that, then I lose out on this adjacency. Like, this is 2 points that I'm getting here. Now, actually, it's not terrible. It's still next to water. I'd be losing 2 points, but if I did this with it, and put that here, that would give me 3 points total. Minus 2 is 1. I'd be gaining 1 point from that. Whereas if I just put this... so no matter what I do here, I don't think it's going to matter. So I'm going to save I'm going to put this here. And this is only worth 1 point, unfortunately, because it's not next to a rock. But this does give me a monster to complete this band here, which is nice. Okay, and there's that.
Oh man, it's too bad. Oh, that is unfortunate. Okay.
Oh, and also, to get blank ones, take a portal. Because portals have to go here, so the tile you place like this one is going to be empty.
Wait, what do you mean?
You know the portal that I took?
Yeah.
Well, that was put down here, which means that the tile I took at the time remained empty.
Oh, I see.
So that's how you get an empty...
Yeah, it's just there's not a lot of portals coming out.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do that.
Okay. Makes sense.
Sure.
Another freaking swamp. Well, I can't pass that up. That's a swamp and a swamp. The downside is it wouldn't be next to water, but I'd be creating a band of 2 if I put them here next to each other. If I did that. I mean, they match. I feel like I have to.
Oh, can I change this? Can I put this here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
I feel like I have to do that. Although it's 5 points if I can get this guy out here. Although you don't need orange, so I can let that linger for a while. Same with blue. I think I will take this and put that here. And new ones. Oh man, that's a red one. You don't have red. Oh man, you're gonna score so big on this.
I'm taking this.
Yes, you are.
Doesn't even matter with the token.
Yeah, another cloud one. Crap. That's awful.
Gonna have to do that. Fudge, sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean to punch the camera.
I see. Yes, you did. Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no. Forest monster. I don't have any forest monsters out here. This is another. They're both the same kind of thing. This is an air one. So if anything, I can't ignore 5 points. I kind of want to put another camp out at this point. Yeah, let's do that. But which one do I want? The forest one. I don't have any forests, and I don't have any... Oh, I do have an air one. What I could do is I could do something like this, actually. I don't have to place this newly acquired thing here. I could actually put it here on an empty one if I want. But if I can get another cloud monster here, that would score me even more points. So maybe I do something like this. So I'll do that. And new... Oh, come on with the camps! Who shuffled these?
I'm taking that.
Oh, wow. That's a camp. Oh, man. That hurt. That's going to hurt me. I think you're going to win this game solely on those camps alone. Another freaking cloud. Ugh. Well, oh, okay.
Well, there you go.
That's a nice pairing there. The downside is this would only be worth 7 minus 1, 2, 3, 4 is 3 points. But I feel like out of everything...
No choice.
Yeah...
Unless you take the orange for an additional camp.
I could, but this gives me a band of 3, so that's kind of ideal. There's another dungeon.
Ugh.
And a portal.
Oh, okay.
So you could, if you take it, you could swap things around a bit.
Yeah, I might actually do that. I'll do that.
So you're going to use your...
I will use my portal. Now, here's the question.
Oof.
Here's the question. What am I going to swap? That's my problem.
You can swap from here.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do 2 that are on the board. You can swap.
Now, these don't count,
At
like,
the end of
on
the
the map, right?
No,
they
do
don't.
not.
They
They're
don't
useless.
count.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'll do this then. I'll do,
We didn't use our abilities once this game, did we?
No. I'm going to do that, and there's a reason for it. Actually, so bands are just worth 1 point each?
No, it's based on how many there are. So bands, I'm looking, here it is. So for 2 of them side by side, it's 2 points. For 3 of them in a row or column, it's 5. 4 in a row or column is 7. There's not going to be 4 in a column because there's only 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 in a row, 3 in a row, 4 in a row will score you points.
Oh, man. So you said 3 in a row is 5 points?
Yes. 4 in a row is 7, if you can swing it.
No. 3 is 5. So if I moved this and this would be 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
However...
And they'd still be matching. This one matches here, but that one also matches there.
What's 2 again? 2?
2 is 2 points.
2 points. So this would be 2, and this would be 4. But then this would be 3. And so it doesn't matter. No, 5, 6. Okay. I'm gonna use my portal to switch this one and this one to make them.
Okay.
to make a
Makes
band.
sense to me.
I guess I'll draft the last one while you're thinking. I gotta go for this one over here. It's an orange camp. It's only a forest one. But,
Yeah. So that, in theory, ends the game. So now we have to add stuff up. Pen.
Man, that stinks.
Hey, I'm in the same... Now, your monster... My ability was slide one of your tiles into an open space, bordering it. Any tokens on that tile will go with it. I was tempted to move this up here, but, like, it just didn't pan out. What was yours?
when drafting this turn's tile and token set, you may take any tile and any token.
Yeah.
So you could have taken this and this, or
Yeah. Or I could have taken any token and any tile instead of the
I'm surprised
corresponding.
you didn't do that. Is
No.
it nothing you wanted?
No, not really.
Okay.
But I was really working hard for this one.
score +1 for each type of monster and mini boss on your map. Each mini boss is a unique type.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just hard because the RNG, man.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get out of there. And there's only 5 terrain types in here.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do top to bottom. So terrain type, I'll just put F here for forest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put you as player 1, me as player 2.
So for forests, you got 2 forests.
Mm-hmm.
So that's worth 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
I had 1 forest. That's worth 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
Terrain 2 is swamp. I'll just put an SW there.
Mm-hmm.
Swamp, you got 1 point for the base tile, plus another one for bordering water, but there's no other swamp next to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 2 points for that swamp, right?
Yep.
I had 3 swamps. 1, 2, 3. This one scores 3. 1 for itself, 1 for bordering water, and 1 for being next to this. This is 3. Same thing with this. This is another 3. This one is not bordering water, but does border another swamp. So this is 2. So 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 8. Terrain 3 is cave. You have how many caves?
Just the one.
1. Okay, so it's 1 point for itself plus 2 for being next to a rock.
So
you got 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 for this one next to a rock. 3 for this one next to a rock. 1 for this one not next to another rock. So this is going to be 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 7.
Mm-hmm.
Terrain 4 is camp. C-A-M-P. You had 5 camps. The maximum was 16 points, right?
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Dang it.
At 1, 4, 9, and 16 is how they scored.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
That's okay. You still got 16 points.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I also got 4. That's 16
Oh
points.
my god, I tried so hard.
To outbeat me with camps, I know.
And then terrain 5 was Cloud Island. You didn't have any.
No.
This one is going to be worth 7 minus 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 different terrain types, so 7 minus 4 is 3. So I'm going to score 3 points for that one.
Nice.
Dungeons. I didn't have any dungeons, so I'm going to score 0, but you got a lot here.
Yeah.
This was 5 because each one is different, including itself is 5.
Yeah.
This one...
Only did 3.
This is, 1, 2, 3, because these are dungeons and these are dungeons. So that's 3. So 5 plus 3 is 8. This is a dungeon. Also, 1, 2, 3. So that's 3. So 8 plus 3 is 11 points. Did I math that right?
8. Wait, this is 5.
5.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So you got 11 points to my 0 for those dungeons. Not bad. So if I'm going to subtotal those. That was the cloud. So 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. 32 plus 3 is 35. And yours was 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 16 is 24. 24 plus 11 is 35. We tied.
Wow.
35 to 35.
Mini bosses. Did you have any mini bosses?
Just the one there.
1 here? I had 1 here. So we both scored 2 points each. Crystals.
No, I didn't see any.
Yeah, well, I have 1.
Oh, these things.
Yes, 1 point for everything. So this is 1 point for every cave.
Now, is this cave like the tiles or the tokens?
Tiles, these.
The tiles. Okay.
So you got 1 point per camp, which is 5. That's really good. I got, well, let me put yours down first. 5.
You got 3.
I got 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep.
not
So
bad.
you're beating me by 2 points right now. Matching monsters. I got 1 cave. I don't think that counts as a monster. It's a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Cave, it's 2. Air, 3.
You got the...
4, 5. So I got 5 matching monsters here. Again, cave.
Oh, yeah,
Monster
yeah.
2 tile
Monster
are the
to
same.
tile, that's right.
So
that's
these two are similar. These are the matching. These two match this. So I got 5 points for that.
Wow.
What did you get?
I only got camp. That's it.
So 1 point?
Just these, yeah. Just that one.
Just that one matches. Okay. All right, so that's 1. Bands. Okay, starting with you. Going across row.
This is my only band.
Okay, so you got 3, which is a total of 5 points, I think it was. Now, did you go columns as well? No? Okay. So 5 for you. I had, it's going across, nothing here, but yeah, 3 clouds. So that's 5 on this row. Here I got 2 swamps, that's 2 points. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Then going columns, I got 3 here. 7 plus another 5 is 12. I don't think I got anything. No, I did not. So I got 12 on the bands. Token score. So I guess it's just a subtotal. So 2 plus 3 is 5. And then plus 5 is 10. It's 22 for me. And you got 7, 8, 13 on token score. Boss score. So this is going to be the deciding factor here.
Yeah.
So score +1 for each type of monster and mini boss on your map.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this doesn't count, right?
No, on your map. This is the map, this
So
is the
5.
layer. So 5 points for you. Mine was score the following based on the number of tile types, including dungeons you have on your map.
Wow.
So I have cave is 1, this camp is 2, cloud is 3, swamp is 4, forest is 5.
5, wow.
I got 5 points. It's just 1 point per from the looks of it. So I got 5 as well. So if we total the 35 and yeah, so it looks like I won slightly here. So 35 plus 22 is 57. 57 plus 5 is 62. 35 plus 13 is 48. Plus 5 is 53. So only 9-point difference. So what did you think of Overboss?
It's alright.
It's alright.
I'd rather play Boss Monster for sure.
Oh really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The theme is weird. Like they took a dungeon building game like Boss Monster and they turned it into this set collecting point earning game, which partially to me it doesn't fit very well. The theme anyway, but I can kind of see what they're doing here. What I do like about the game is the fact that again you can pick and choose or draft randomly. Sometimes you'll have volcanoes, sometimes you'll have whatever this is. I think you're some kind of mana thing. Desert tiles and castles. This is a graveyard, so they're all going to be different. And underneath are, there's little tokens underneath for each one. So you can randomly deal them out, or you can select. Again, you've got these command cards if you want to be a bit more mean about the game. I love the fact that there are so many different bosses that you can play as, and they each offer a single use ability plus an end game kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like even though we picked 5 terrain types, you're at the mercy of this RNG up here.
That's rough.
And like I was like because of this I was like I need to grab as many different terrain types as possible. But camps kept coming up and I'm like, well, do I sacrifice this for a lot of camps? I mean, I kind of had to. The difference between 9 and 16 that's 7 points. I couldn't pass that up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What did you like about the game?
I loved all the different terrain types. I wish we could play with all of them, to be honest.
That would be crazy.
That would be fun.
That'd be a very low scoring game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't be scoring as many bands. We wouldn't be, because there's too many tiles.
There is. But I think it's I think if we played with everything, you would have to have not just 4 on the table. You'd have to have like more.
I see what you're saying.
And I would play
on the.
flip.
I was
flip
about
side.
to mention the 4x4. Would you rather have played on the 4x4 side as opposed to the 3x4?
I didn't care for the dungeon. Maybe my experience would have been better had I gotten more portals. I don't know, or the volcanoes to actually empty out. But it was okay. I mean, it's just very, very, very RNG heavy.
I do like the drafting. It gives you some choice, but the fact that you have to choose a pairing means that you've got a lot of tough decisions to make with every draft. You know what I mean?
It reminds me of that one animal game, Cascadia, I think it was, where you have to pick the tile and the animal that goes with it and put it on the tile.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you're right about that.
And it was okay. I mean, it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
it was more of a meh to you.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I wouldn't say this is my favorite game of the year. It's above average, but not above average enough to warrant a spot on my top 10 list.
For me, I'm the opposite. It was
slightly below.
Below.
Really?
Slightly, very slightly.
Makes sense. At first, I thought this game was going to be super complicated, but it turned out to be fairly easy. It was just, I was overwhelmed by the amount of components and, like, but once I got setup figured out, like, the game is super simple to play, but, like, I'm looking at all of this stuff and I'm like, where does it all go? What do I do with this stuff? You know what I mean? But it took a little bit of prep, but once I got it, it was super easy to play. And games take a lot less time than I thought they would, especially on the 3x4 side. I would definitely maybe add an additional pairing out here in the future to give us more options so that we're not stuck with bad RNG.
Or a way to like wipe out the thing, like sacrifice one of your tokens to just completely wipe out the market.
That's a thought. I mean, some of the bosses I think let you do that.
Yeah,
but
I think one boss does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it was
move a token on your map to a terrain tile without a token, so you can freely move something. Draft twice this term, skip your next turn. You may use any token in your layer as if it were an unused portal. Okay. Yes, there's a bunch of other ones.
That one is the one that wipes out the whole market, I believe.
Kazana, discard and then restock all terrain tiles. Yeah, I wish that was just something extra you could do once per game as opposed to it being a boss. But then again, that makes it too, I don't know, like, there's that line.
Yeah.
How, too little RNG.
Too much. Yeah,
too much
it's a
RNG.
balance.
You gotta find like a variant that will not make the game too less random, if that makes any sense.
I feel like the take that mechanic too would really frustrate
someone. Oh, that would piss me off. These are the command cards I was talking about. These are optional variants that you can include. If you create, I guess, certain shapes. I didn't read up on this, but if you create certain patterns, then you can play these on your board or on your opponent's board to move stuff around or flip tiles, whatever.
What would be cool is if we had that, but instead of doing the take that mechanic, maybe if we
only affects your own board.
Not that, but like wipe the market. Like if you completed the objective on that card, then you can wipe the market.
Okay.
You know, something like that.
Makes sense.
Who knows?
All right. Well, I think we're getting mixed reactions out of this one, is what I'm getting. She didn't like it as much. I liked it slightly more than I thought I would. But yeah, I would say if you're looking for, it's definitely not the Boss Monster game that I played.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Boss Monster and this feels, aside from the art and the monsters like King Croak and Cerberus, like, or wherever they were. Yeah, King Croak, and these were monsters. These were the bosses from the original game. So aside from the callback or the universe, it doesn't really play at all the same as a Boss Monster game. You know,
it's unfortunate because I love all of the art. Like, there's not one thing I don't like about the art. I love the font. I love just everything. But the gameplay itself was meh.
Yeah, it was more simple than I thought it would be. So that could be a good thing or bad thing depending on what kind of gamer you are.
Very strategic. Very strategic.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
A lot of point counting.
But
You're doing a lot of mental math. Well, if I create this band, that's worth 7. But if I manage to get these camps, I get this much. And if I move these around, do I get more points, less points?
like you said, pretty strategic, but a lot of math.
You're at the mercy of the RNG. As soon as you place down a tile, if there's another one that should have been in that place, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, now you're screwed unless you can move it. But yeah, Boss or Overboss, Boss at Monster Adventure. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vincent Ottilie. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye guys.